After an interesting head coaching search this offseason, Arkansas decided to hire former Memphis head coach Ryan Silverfield to be their new head coach. How will he fare overall in his time at Arkansas, and what will their 2026 season look like? Find out our predictions next on the Vol Fanatics Show.
So we mentioned last week, we are starting off with Arkansas. Arkansas under new head coach. Cannot even remember his name. And that just tells you how badly I feel about him. It's the former Memphis head coach. Oh, help me out, Skylar.
I'm trying my best. Give me a goddamn second. 1 second. We are live.
We are live, by the way.
We are live. So. It is, and I have it right here.
Ryan Silverfield.
Thank you, Silverfield.
Yeah, so Ryan Silverfield taking over the helm, coming from Memphis, where he has some good seasons, but he very much underachieved every single season. Skylar and I have both been on record saying that we feel like Arkansas panic hired in this situation. They thought they had Alex Golish, and they ended up not getting him, and then just hired the highest rated, group of 5, group of 6 coach that was left on the table to take over their program. So coming off of having Sam Pittman, who had some highs there at the beginning, but then very much underachieved in his last couple of seasons, especially the offensive line group that he was supposed to specialize in. So really not much place for Arkansas to go but up, but I don't know if up's going to happen this season.
No,
I guess we'll end up seeing.
They didn't get a favorable. Yeah. I'll go first. North Alabama, I do think they start out with a win. At Utah, man, that's just a tough draw for the out of conference. With a 9-game conference schedule, you draw Utah at Utah. I just don't think that's going to happen in first year. I don't even know who's going to emerge from Arkansas player wise to be dominant. But yeah, you then have to play Georgia as your first SEC game of the year. Pray for Arkansas. That is not going to be a good one. Tulsa. Tulsa is one of those games where I think it's in a terrible spot. You're coming off probably back-to-back losses, Utah, Georgia. Tulsa, a team you probably should beat, but will you? Like, what's the mindset of this team after getting rocked probably by Georgia? I don't like the spot. I am still going to give them the win because I don't know where they're going to get a lot more wins down the road. So I know that's a terrible way to do it, but we're going to give them the win there against Tulsa at home. Maybe that has a difference to it, but then they go to A&M. It gets bad for them. I just don't think they're pulling that one out. They do host Tennessee, and history says that Arkansas will beat Tennessee, but they shouldn't. And Tennessee better not lose to Arkansas this year. At Vanderbilt, I truly think Vanderbilt is a better team than Arkansas right now. I don't even care who's the quarterback at Vanderbilt. I know Vanderbilt's defense is still stingy, and did they not still have like one of the best tight ends in the league, or did he get drafted?
He went to the pros.
That's fine, but they still got somebody.
They've got one of the best running backs in Cedric Alexander.
I was gonna say they got some dogs. I think they got more dogs than Arkansas. I'm giving Vanderbilt the dub there. Missouri is a tricky one, but I like Missouri's quarterback a lot more than the quarterback at Arkansas, whoever that is going to be. I don't know. Give me Missouri.
No, it's not Taylor Green. He transferred.
Yeah, it's not Taylor Green.
I don't know who the quarterback is, to be honest.
But Missouri picked up
Ole Miss's Austin Simmons.
Yes, and I like that kid.
They also pair that with Ahmad Hardy, who is
Missouri's
SEC leading rusher.
Dude, Missouri's going to be decent. Come on. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm telling you, this is how quickly it goes off the rails for Arkansas, man. It's just not a good look. And I don't – they didn't really think this move out that well, in my opinion. At Auburn, no. The quarterback or the head coach you thought you had is gonna run you out the building. South Carolina, you know, South Carolina, I think, still has better players, but they do host South Carolina. What's the psyche of these two teams? I don't know. I am going to give Arkansas the win just to give them a win in conference. I genuinely don't see them winning another game. So South Carolina, and then I have them losing at Texas and then hosting LSU. Dude, it is a bad season for the Arkansas Razorbacks, but I do have them going, 3-9 and 1-8 in the SEC. And we do the worst case, best case. Worst case, man, they literally could win one game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they could lose to Tulsa because that's in a terrible spot, being in between Georgia and A&M like that. And then South Carolina, I do think South Carolina is a better team, so I don't even think that's a stretch to say they lose to South Carolina. The worst case is 1-11, and best case, Michael, what do you think? Best case? Let's collaborate here. I know this is my segment, but maybe Auburn.
Maybe Auburn, because that's another first-year head coach.
Utah's a good team, man. I don't think so. I'm seriously thinking.
I don't think Utah. I think so. Hear me out here. I know that we're Tennessee fans and everything, but also towards the beginning of the SEC schedule, maybe you're still working out your two quarterbacks between McIntyre and Brandon. I think Tennessee is a much better team than Arkansas, but maybe towards the beginning of that SEC schedule, they sneak up and they do get Tennessee at home. I mean, Tennessee has struggled in Arkansas. So that would be one that puts you at like 5-7. I feel like it's got to be one of those three teams between Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and Missouri. You might sneak up and get one of those. I don't see you getting two of those. I don't feel like it's a good best case.
I'm genuinely, and this is crazy, but I'm genuinely going to go 5-7 as best case, which is why Arkansas was first on our list. Yep, that is my prediction for Arkansas. Not really high on the Razorbacks this year.
Yeah, so 5-7 from Skylar is the
I wish
as the
we could
best
just
case.
clear. Is there a button that I could just clear all? That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Maybe not.
So yeah, you got 3-9 as their actual record this year, and I'm probably not going to be much different. Just a spoiler on
I don't
that
see how
one.
you could be, man.
Starting off the season against Northern Alabama, I do think that you get a win there. It'd be a good, first win of the season, kind of get the jitters out of the way. But then you mentioned going on the road to Utah. Now, it is not a Kyle Whittingham-led Utah team this year, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Talent.
Utah has got a lot of talent out there, and they're probably going to be at the top half of the Big 12 too. So that is going to be a loss for Arkansas. You mentioned it. You get Georgia as your first conference game right off the bat.
Hey, that was us last year, man. We know how that feels.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be brutal.
Georgia could be vulnerable. I mean, we almost beat Georgia but now I feel like Tennessee's a better team than Arkansas. So
yes, so it's going to be a loss there. You mentioned it with Tulsa. That's a dangerous team to get, especially coming off of a week where you play Georgia that you're probably going to get throttled by. By the way, Tulsa has snuck up and gotten some teams in the last couple of years. I believe they got Oklahoma State last year. Nearly got Kentucky a couple of years ago. Sneaky good opponent, but I do think that Arkansas is going to get a win in that one. Texas A&M and College Station. This game is not going to be in Dallas as it has been in previous years. I do think that Arkansas is going to get beat pretty good by Texas A&M. Tennessee. As mentioned, Tennessee has struggled in recent years, really going back to the early 2010s in Arkansas. But this is a different Tennessee team. This is a different Arkansas team. Tennessee is going to get the win against Arkansas here. Vanderbilt, you mentioned it, is a Vanderbilt team that lost key pieces last year, but they also retain one of the best running backs in the conference. They also have 5-star Jared Curtis at quarterback. We'll see where he's at this point of the season, but I do think that Vanderbilt's going to get the win in that one. Missouri, you mentioned it. They're going to be a sneaky good team in the conference this year with Austin Simmons at quarterback. You've got Ahmad Hardy at running back. They got some key pieces that they picked up from the transfer portal as well. They're going to take a loss to Missouri. At Auburn, this is probably the most intriguing spot of the schedule for me because you got two first-year coaches in Ryan Silverfield and Alex Golish. I just think it's going to be two coaches that are going to be trending in opposite directions. I think that Ryan Silverfield from the gun is going to be trending down. And I think Alex Golish is going to have Auburn in a really good spot this season. So that's going to be a loss for Auburn. I'm sorry, a loss for Arkansas in this one. South Carolina. This could be a very intriguing game for both of these teams. And just taking a look at South Carolina's schedule, they don't have it any easier than Arkansas does. I mean, before playing against Arkansas, here's the 3 games prior to playing Arkansas. Tennessee at home, Oklahoma in Norman, and Texas A&M at home. That is a tough 3-game stretch there before playing against Arkansas, not to mention some of the teams they played before then. I think it's very possible that Shane Beamer could be fired at this point, and if that's the case...
I think he was dumb for not taking the Virginia job. Like, when he had the control to do it, man, that was...
I think at this point you could see Shane Beamer fired. And because I'm banking on that being the case at this point in the schedule, I am going to give Arkansas the win. The game at home.
We mirrored each other. This is crazy. We don't talk about it. This is live. We do not discuss our picks before these. Like I didn't even. Yeah, this is. I'm glad we see eye to eye on Arkansas. I don't see how you could see any different. We've known this from the moment they hired this guy. That like who, why, who, how, when, where, and then with this schedule, man, like you gotta have. I don't know. I think they poorly timed and managed this whole head coach situation. I do seriously think that they probably win 5 games if they'd have just kept the last coach. Sure, they weren't going to win a natty with that guy, but at least you had some sense of stability and a guy that built some culture around that team. And
with all the turnover for especially SEC head coaches last season,
it wasn't the time.
No, I agree. I feel like they could have gotten a better guy.
Now they did lose some games in the ways that you just can't lose games, but you also just set your new guy up for absolute failure.
Yeah, but man, in those games, how many of those games did Arkansas lose that it was like, hey, we're a play away from winning this game?
They fumbled it away. There was like 3 games that they lost it in the final minutes. It was crazy actually. Tennessee was a game that it was close. They didn't pull it out.
So I hate that we completely mirrored each other because it's bad for podcasts. But I mean, I've got the exact same scenario that you do. 3-9 as my schedule prediction for Arkansas. 1-11 is the absolute floor. I mean,
there's no way they lose to North Alabama, right?
No, I agree. They beat North Alabama, but that Tulsa game, that's a tricky game, especially for a first year.
It's a bad spot too, man.
Yes,
being sandwiched in between Georgia and A&M, not a good look, because as a coaching staff, you're worried about conference games way more than you are out of conference games. So are you already cheating on film? Like, I don't know. They better not be, but they could be. I don't know. It's a bad spot.
Yeah, terrible spot to get Tulsa there. And then my ceiling, I am going to go 5-7. We mentioned that Auburn game is really the swing game for this schedule. If this prediction comes to fruition, like we've said, 3-9. That Auburn game is definitely in the swing game because of what trajectory is Auburn going to be on at this point.
Let's screenshot this comment because when Arkansas goes 9-3 this year, we need to know that we were not the only ones that predicted this. Okay.
Yes.
Like
100%.
We need to make sure that we CYA. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. No, I genuinely, I don't know. Ryan Silverfield would have to pull a miracle, and I just. He's gonna have to have some dudes that we just don't know about for him to have any sort of a season this year. I genuinely don't think it's in the cards to make a bowl game. Absolutely not. That's why I said either. That's why I said the best case is 5-7. I mean, you just, even if you win the non-conference games, you pull it, you beat Utah, and you go 1-3, or you go 3-1 in your first 4 games. I'm not finding 3 more wins.